Hello, Saginaw. Welcome to another episode of Saginaw Spotlight, where we shine a light on the interesting people and businesses that make our city shine. I'm your host, Alex, and today we have a really special guest, someone who has been instrumental in shaping Saginaw's live music scene. He's the owner of The Vault, one of the most exciting and unique live music venues in the area. Please welcome Bill Peters. Bill, thank you so much for being on our show. It's really a treat to have you with us. So let's start with your origin story. How did the vault come to be?
Well, I own a company right next door, and it was a small property. It was smaller. It's a large company, and I just have a lot of equipment, and I didn't have a lot of equipment, and I found that one of my employees told me that the people that owned the Florence Event Center were retiring. So I just went over and talked to Carol, and she told me how much she wanted for it, and through time, because it was not supposed to happen, but it happened. So that's exactly how it happened. I wanted the property. There's 5 acres there, a huge 11,000 square foot, basically a union hall. That's what it was, a union hall. And I thought, well, I can run, because I'm getting older now, and I wanted to, just stop so much of the working, of the maintenance stuff that I do. And I thought, well, I can run quinceañeras, I can do weddings, parties, and stuff like that, because that's what it's set up for. It's a bingo hall. It was, anyways. So I bought it, and I was going to just run it as a bingo hall and stuff like that, leave everything, the way that it was. And I'm a musician, so I mean, I've been playing for 40 years. So I went up there, looked at that tiny stage they had, and I told my buddy, build me a big stage, and that's how it started. And then it
Wow.
evolved from there. It just kept on going. We got trusses, we got lights, we had a PA come in, we had and then I needed a liquor license because now I'm on this venture of bringing something to Saginaw. Like back in the 70s, there was a place called Daniel's Den that was on State Street, big club. Bob Seger, everybody that was anybody, even I think, what's that, the blind guy,
Stevie
the
Wonder?
Stevie Wonder. Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
even
yeah.
played there too. So
Wow.
so there's a lot of people, and it was a big thing back then. So I thought, well, Saginaw hasn't had anything in a long, long time, and I've worked in Saginaw my whole life. I've had my own business forever. So I thought, you know what, I'd really like to do something for our community. So that's how it came about, and I kept on building it, and then COVID hit. I mean, I opened it up in January of 2020, ran 2 shows, basically just because I didn't have a liquor license at that time. So I gave away, I did a charity, like people came in, brought their liquor license, and I just gave it all away, for charity and stuff. And whatever they're like, D Street was one of them. And then the Post was another one for veterans. And after that, I went to Bike Week down in Florida, came back, and she closed me down for a year and a half. So we were closed down for a year and a half. And then the liquor license came in, and then the PA system came in, So I mean, we just got bombarded, and then we couldn't work. We couldn't go there. None of us could work. So I just shut her down. And waited. But in the process, we developed the club at that time. So it wouldn't be where it's at today if it wasn't, unfortunately, for COVID. It wouldn't be where it's at today. In the growth of it. As far as the development of the club itself.
Yeah.
But that's it,
Wow.
pretty much in a nutshell. I mean, it's been 5 years now. I can't believe that it's been 5 years. Just it
Yeah.
went by so fast, man. And now we're getting some traction. We've been playing some great shows, just absolutely some fantastic. We get the best of the best. We research it. I got Chuck Rossio. He's my promotions director, and he's over the top. You know, just over the top. With trying to get the best acts, dealing with agencies and stuff like that. It's really an eye opener of what you have to do in order to put a show together. Even my staff, if I didn't have my staff, I wouldn't be there either because everybody just it's a cog. Everybody's just a cog in that wheel. Or yeah, cog in the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It does look like a lot of work. And then when I saw you there last week at the Detroit the
Doors,
Detroit
yeah,
Doors. Yeah, you look very busy. Everyone was doing their. I didn't want to interrupt because you're working, But I could see how even the sound guy, the light guy, and you know, my impression of the vault is very comfortable. I've been in venues where you're all cramped in there, your seat's really tiny and
oh, yeah,
uncomfortable. And then you look at the bathroom, the line's super long, or the
yeah,
refreshment line is long. None of that at the vault. You go right up, get your drink. It's easy, comfortable. The bathroom is easy to get to. You've got a smoking area, which I think a lot of people appreciate that because
yeah,
you don't want to be smoking in front of people who don't appreciate that. So that's
right.
awesome. And then also your sound system is really good, right? Tell me
Oh
about
yeah,
the sound.
oh yeah. Well, the sound system is just a system that I got from a friend of mine down out of Jackson, and they were road they set up these things on the road. So I got the line arrays from them, and they're road dogs. I mean, everything that I bought was bulletproof, crown amps. I don't have anything powered besides my monitor system is all powered, but everything is run by amps. So I got, geez, 80,000 watts of power, and most all of it's just for the low end. The light system, just is second to none. We have like, and I'm going to keep on adding to it. So that's when we have a little break during the summertime, and during that little break that we have, I'm going to go ahead and develop a little bit more. So when people come in, every time somebody comes in there, it's just like, holy crap, man! Look what else you did to the place. Oh my lord, well, look at this, and that's what I
Yeah,
I mean. I'm the rock star, really. When it comes down to them shows, there's a lot of people there. It's kind of cool, and you never have to worry about bothering me because that's what I'm there for. I'm there to talk to people, make people comfortable. If you get the ladies there and they're comfortable, then everything is great. I mean, and that's what I try and do. That's what I strive for. I just want to have the best. Period. I want to have the best club in this state, maybe in the tri-states, in the 5 states, whatever. I just want the best place, and I want it to be a place where people go, I want to play there. I want to play there, and that's happening now after 5 years. We got stymied a
yeah,
little bit. And we're still fighting with other clubs and stuff like that about, how close we are in proximity to their club. It's just the politics that we go along with, and it kind of sucks because everybody, I'm doing this for our community. This is Saginaw County, Tri-City County. This is all for us. That's for you. It's for me. It's for Saginaw County. Now we do get people from all over the place that come to the club, but I just hate the battle of clubs. It's like, well, you can't play here, you can't play there ever if you ever want to play here. I mean, that
oh, they
happens, and
say
it
things
happens
like
a
that.
lot. Yes,
Wow,
and
I
it's the
didn't
politics
realize
of
that.
it. Oh, it's horrible. I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but if people see this podcast, they know who it is and who they are. But it's all. I don't really care. We're
I
doing
had no
great.
idea that they were that petty regarding the competition.
It's
I didn't know
it's a
that.
cutthroat business. It's just a cutthroat business. That's all there is to it. If you're within their rider distances and stuff like that, they will fight, like tooth and nail. It's like, man, I'm doing this for us. I'm doing it for our people, for the community. So you know, fight, they'll lose, you know, and our
Hey,
community will win just as long as I'm present, just as long as I continue to push, and
yes,
that's what we're doing. Like, we
yes.
got a
And
great show
I
this
have,
weekend. We got Moonshine Bandits. Go ahead.
Moonshine Kings, right?
No,
Is that,
Moonshine Bandits are this weekend, but we
oh,
also
Moonshine.
added Mike Spitz. He's a local guy, and he's great.
Yeah,
Everybody knows Mike. If you're in this
yeah,
in the hip hop rock stuff, Mike is huge. And
yeah,
he's a great guy to come and watch too. And then
yeah,
Moonshine Bandits, they've been around for a long time. So it'll
yeah.
be a fun show. It will be a safe show, guaranteed, and people are just going to enjoy the heck out of it.
My first podcast episode was with a tattoo artist, and she told me that the owner of the tattoo shop, Saginaw Tattoo, is Mike Spitz. That's where I first heard of Mike Spitz, was he owns a
Oh,
tattoo
really?
shop in
Wow.
Saginaw. Isn't that, it's
I
a small
I did not
community,
know
right?
that either. Yeah,
It's a,
absolutely. Absolutely. And then
It-
we've got people that really support us too. There's a lot of people that come there, that have their own businesses that come there, and we put them up on our walls to
I've
sponsor
seen
them for a
that.
small fee too. Yeah, yeah, it's fantastic. So
I
we're
like
actually
that.
it's coming together, but again, the community still has to support it because if it doesn't, what are we going to do? It's
Right.
gonna just turn right back into a hall like it was, and I'm trying to avoid that. I'll run weddings and stuff like that, but people call almost daily about, hey, we'd like to rent the venue. It's like, well, it's not for rent. It's just, I mean, it's a nightclub now.
Yeah.
So and we do other stuff like we got a comedy act coming up in May, Josh Wolf, and
Huh?
that sold quick. I mean, that one was so quick, I couldn't believe how fast it sold. So
I would totally go to
that
comedy shows. Yeah, I think that's a great
I
idea.
Absolutely. I used to love it. Me and my wife, we've been all over the world, and we go to comedy shows all over the place. And we haven't had any comedy unless you go to the temple. Like I've been to the temple and I did that too, but mine's affordable. My place is that, and that's what I want. I just want people to, this is Saginaw again. It's not Detroit, it's not Grand Rapids, it's not Muskegon, it's not, where the money is at, it's not a metropolis. You know,
Right.
People work here. This is a working community. The average income, I don't even know what it is really, but it's not like Detroit. It's not like Toledo. It's not like Jackson, places, bigger towns.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
But
and so I
not
that's
every,
what.
yeah. That is fantastic that you offer this for this smaller community. And
Yeah.
yeah, you're the best in our area. You're the best venue. That's my opinion. I can't
Oh
think of
yeah,
anyone
yeah.
that has a bigger venue than you or more. You also have a quality artist coming. So not
Oh
just
yeah,
sometimes you go and you feel like it's a little amateurish, not to your place, but other venues, and you're
yeah.
like, it's a
Oh yeah,
little, you know, but here you have some really quality groups coming in there. Tell me
yeah.
about
They're
some of the
heavily.
favorite groups that have come through.
Well, some of mine. I'm a rocker, so with the club, I just like asses in seats. I like to say that because I just like people to come in. No matter what it is, no matter what the genre that we play, I just want people to come in and enjoy and smile and have a good time. So my some of my favorites are like Jeff Tate came in from Queensryche, one of my favorites. Just fantastic. Jesse James from Jackal, he was great. George Lynch from Dokken, not one of my favorites, but people love the guy. He's a great guitar player, very iconic. We had Yngwie Malmsteen there, one of the best
Yeah,
guitar players in the world.
yeah,
And we had a great turnout for that too. So and I like tributes. I had this one band. It was a Meatloaf band, and and they had another band that opened up for them. It was the same band, of course, but I thought Meatloaf. Ooh, I like the guy, but I just couldn't think of, I remember him being like an opera. It was like opera all the time, and the songs were so long. Fleetwood Mac opened up for him. It was a Fleetwood Mac show. And so they opened up. They were great, a husband and wife team. And then he came out as Meatloaf, and it just blew me away. I'm going to have them guys back because anybody that missed that show missed one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life.
yeah.
I mean, it was like
People,
watching Meatloaf on stage.
people
Yeah.
underestimate the power and energy and the skill of the tribute band. I've seen tribute
Oh,
bands that
yeah.
are they go on international tours, like the one from the Pink Floyd Australian one. They go on, they
Yeah.
fill stadiums. So, and
Yeah.
also, like, if you take a band like The Doors, right? They haven't done a tour since 1970. So, you're not going to get live music from The Doors, but you could get this tribute band that sings very, very good, very, I love the tribute bands because when you get to be our age, it's kind of a nostalgia thing. You remember when you first heard that song, you remember what you were doing when this came out. It's a very it's a magical time. It's a magical thing.
Yeah, and that's what I
So
like about them too, because I like Motley Crue, the Wrecking Crew. They're a great band. We've had some Guns N' Roses bands and stuff like that too. And I'll tell you what, I'm old enough to when I see Motley Crue, I've seen them live, you know, and and they were great. They were great. And now you can watch them tributes just like you watched them in 1984, like a Van Halen. I have some friends that of mine that are completely unchained. Best Van Halen show you've ever seen, and um, and they're older dudes, but man, oh man, they are just absolutely fantastic. And
Yeah.
that's what we bring, right? That's what I bring to this area. It's like, if you want to tell me what you want to see, because we put it out there all the time to people. It's like, tell us who you want to see. Like, we got a Bon Jovi show coming up, called Wanted. They're going to be great. I mean, they're great. They're well they're well known. You know, Journey. Another one that was really good. I have a friend of mine named Jim Adkins. He looks like Steve Perry. He sounds just like Steve Perry. So you can't see Journey no more like that. You know, so that's what I like about the tribute bands. Now we're getting more into the national stuff right now because we have to go above our competition. We have to step it up. We have to be you know, uh, a bigger club. So we've got some stuff coming up. And then we do some up and comers too. Like we just had the band Feel. Have you heard the band Feel? It's
I have
called the
not.
band
No.
Feel. Oh my lord, they sound it's like kind of like a Greta Van Fleet. You've
Oh,
heard
I
of
know
them,
that.
Greta Van Fleet
Yes.
from
Uh-huh.
Frank. Well, yeah, they're kind of like that, like a little Led Zeppelin-y, kind of
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
hippie type band. And then we had Retrograde. I mean, they're up and comers. They are great. Both two great bands to be able to watch. We have Gunshine. If you've never heard of them guys, we got them guys coming in July 25th. They are going to be hot, and you're not going to be able to like my tickets are $20, but when these guys hit it big, you're talking like Greta Van Fleet. You can't see Greta without a $100 bill.
Right.
Wherever they
Right.
play at, even at the Dow Event Center, you're not going to see Greta under $100. So these are the people that we want to attract right now. Get them into the club, get them more known, getting them in front of more people because they'll be big and we won't be able to afford them next time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I love
uh,
this. Yes. And it's
yeah,
a special thing to see a band grow and then get to superstardom. They could
yeah.
actually start in your locale and just do big things afterwards, huh?
Yeah, and I tell them we had Bernie Witches. They're from like Norway or something like that, or Sweden. I think Sweden. And we were their first North American spot where they started their tour at. And they're touring all over the world. I mean, they're just all over, and they're big and awesome, an awesome band, totally awesome. So if you get to see them, and they opened up for, they just got them opening up for Accept and KK Priest, who was the guitar player for Judas Priest.
Judas Priest.
So
Yeah,
yep, yep. So
that's
so we
awesome.
do get the people in there. We get them up and coming bands, and then they just go off and they get on a tour, and bam, before you know it, you hear about them all over the place.
That's
So
cool.
I love the club. It is fun. It's a lot of work. I did not expect it to be this much work. I just did not expect it. So and
Yeah,
it costs a
I
lot of
bel
money. So it's just
I imagine it
nonstop,
does.
nonstop. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Hey, this is a good point to pause for a moment. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Iva Road Dog Sitting. If you're looking for a safe, fun place for your friendly dog, Iva Road Dog Sitting serves the entire Saginaw area. They have a big fenced yard, a cozy home environment, and all dogs get free daily walks. Dogs love it there. Mention this podcast and get 3 free days of dog sitting. That's a $100 value. Text Iva Road Dog Sitting at 989-954-7210. And we are back with Bill Peters from the Vault. Uh, so uh, you've been doing this for going on 5 years now, right? Is that right?
yeah, yep.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened during the vault during a show? Oh, did I lose
Oh,
you?
I
Oh, no, there it is.
even hate this. Uh, I'm back. Are you there? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Well, we've had a few things happen. Unfortunately, we had this Chuck, who is my promotions director. Now this is the worst. This is the absolute worst. It was a great night. We were doing a thing for kids cancer uh, fundraiser, and Tension Head, which is Chuck's band, he was doing that I think for like 16 years. He was on the road, professional, and they hadn't been together like in 6 years. So we all got together, put it together for like 6, 7 months, where we had built this show up for Tension Head. Now he had a lot of followers over the years. Being in the business for 16 years, he did everything, all these shows all over. So the day of show, packed house. I mean, it was packed, and, and we had an opening band. I can't remember Goboflex or Boboflex, I think it was, that was there, and then Chuck's band Tension Head came out. Great night, And as it was going on, all of a sudden, the drummer, fell on his drums, had a cardiac arrest, and pretty much ended the show. I mean, it
Wow.
did end the show. As a matter of fact, JoJo's still recovering after
Wow.
2 years. He's still in recovery.
Wow.
JoJo is okay. I mean, but that night we thought we lost him. It was very bad. Fortunately, we had some nurses on staff there that were there to perform CPR until the ambulances got there, rescue got there, and it was horrible. It was just a very, very shocking night.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the worst case scenario. Um, but besides
Wow.
that, it's pretty much status quo with the club. We just play music, try and keep people safe. We've got security there, so big old boys like me, to make sure that again everybody is safe. You know, um, Generally, we watch people a lot. There. I'm eyeing everybody. To make sure that everybody is just having a good time and nobody's being irreverent. And if every once in a while, you know, you get a bunch of people together, somebody don't like somebody, and before you know it, there's a little scuffle, but it doesn't last long. It's pretty much shut down right quick. And it doesn't
Yeah.
have, I can count on one hand in
Yeah.
5 years of these kind of situations.
Wow.
So
Wow.
shit does happen. People do fall. I've had a couple injuries where people had fell, tripped, or something like that, scrapes, scratches, cuts. You know, Besides that, nothing too much really to speak of.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
we try
Well,
and keep it.
man,
Everything is safe. Everything. That's my main concern is these people. I want them to come in. I want them to enjoy themselves, and then I want them to go home. Make
yeah.
it home. Yeah, and then post on the internet. Post on Facebook, post on Instagram or stuff
Yeah.
like that. TikTok
Yeah.
about how great of a time they had that night. You know what I mean? I mean
Yeah.
that's my goal
Yeah.
every single show. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I do the same thing. My wife loves to post after the show and say, look, we went, and she'll take her iPhone and take great pictures with it. And it's a
Yeah.
live music is magic. It's not like listening to a recording. It's there's an energy there. There's people, and the crowd is almost as interesting as the band. For me, I'm a people watcher, so you don't get this diverse crowd anywhere else but a concert venue. So that's
Yeah.
magical too. Um, so let's talk about your music for a second. You mentioned that you're a musician,
Well, I have been my whole life. Yes. Yeah.
huh? And you're in a band?
I still am in a band. Yeah. It's called Hardware.
Yeah,
We just got them
yeah,
playing there 3 weeks ago. Yeah. We played with our
really?
buddies. Yeah. We have a friend of mine named Duff, and he came in with Ron Stricker and a couple of Anthony Smith, and they did a Bad Company tribute. And they were great, man. I mean, it was just all of us are old guys now. I'm probably almost one of the youngest guys in the band. I'm 61. So and Duff and his guys are my peers and they're older than me, but it was great to get up there and play in front of people that I just love. I mean, these guys, they've been
Yeah,
around, they played at every single bar in the state of Michigan probably, and they were
wow,
great musicians. We had a great night. They're called Rock Steady. So if people are out there and they want to see I mean, just a great band, just a great solid, you know, um, a band. And my
yeah,
band, I just get to open up at my own club. So I think we're good enough to play my stage. And that's one of the things that I'm very concerned about when we're shopping out for for bands to come is that like they got to, it can't be like a bar band, it can't be people standing there on a little stage. I mean, this is a big 30 by 30
Yeah.
stage, so and it's a
Yes.
big stage to have to move around on. And that's what I
Yeah.
want to see when I get up there. I like even with Duff or even with anybody else that comes there. A lot of people I know them already, right? And so I'll tell Duff, I don't want to know the Duff guy. I want to see the crazy guy up on stage. I want to see you perform, and that's the whole thing about my club is that it's a performance club.
Right.
It's not a bar. It's an event center. We build this event. We want people just to go, holy crap, man, and have their
Yeah.
eyes this big around, like,
Yeah.
just going, oh my God, these guys are great, man, and that's pretty much what my goal is every single show. And I
Yes.
can pretty much count on one hand in 5 years how many people really didn't step up to the act. Of what I considered worthy of that stage. And it's very limited. I mean, because I've ran hundreds of shows, hundreds of them already. And to say even five up there that weren't really good enough, or maybe not prepared enough. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe more like not prepared enough for the stage.
Right.
So yeah,
You you made a good distinction. That's what I was trying to say earlier, that this is not bar bands. This is a cut above. This is concert
oh, yeah,
bands. And it is a different vibe. Like a bar band is used to playing a small venue, so the sound is for a small room. And then the concert
right,
is a bigger sound, a bigger stage presence, more masterful, more skilled, I believe. So the magic comes it comes alive with the concert venue. Yeah,
yeah.
fantastic.
And
So
even our sound guy, Bud, our
yeah,
sound guy. I mean, he's been there from the beginning. Bud Rebenek is his name, and I'll tell you, he's a road dog. I mean, he's been to Guam, Hawaii. He's been all over the place. He does all festivals during the summertime because we pretty much close down during the summertime because of the festivals. We can't compete with outdoors. You just can't. Bay City, Frankenmuth, the people
the
that run
knob,
these shows
pine
outside.
knob.
Yeah, you can't compete with outdoor events during the summertime. Everybody wants to be outside. Who wants to be inside in an air conditioned building when it's 90 degrees outside? I haven't figured that one out yet. So, because I would rather be
But you
sitting in
have
a, yeah,
do
go
you
ahead.
have land that's on the outside? You said you had five
Yeah,
acres, right? You have,
yeah,
could you put it something there for
we
outdoors?
could, and we have in the past, but it's really just so tough to gauge what the weather. So
Yeah,
I don't want to spend 10 grand and then get a rainstorm,
yeah,
and then everybody ends up inside and you've got 1,000 people outside, that have to cram onto the inside, and we do that. I mean, we've had that, but it's just something that I'd rather just enjoy my summer too, because
yes,
from the
yes,
beginning, like I said, it's a lot more work than what you would think it is. We're there nonstop. I'll be there today, as a matter of fact, just making sure that everything's ready for this Saturday show.
yeah, yeah,
So and then we're there from I'm there from 10 o'clock in the morning time. Bud shows up around 1, and then we go till closing till 1 o'clock, like 1 o'clock when the whole band is taking off their equipment and stuff.
yeah,
So we're there from beginning to end. And
yeah.
so it's a 16-hour
It's
day
work.
every
It's a
show.
hard work.
Yeah,
I believe it.
yeah,
Hey,
on your
so
feet too.
yeah, yeah. Um, how do musicians find you, and how do you find musicians to play at the vault?
Well, right now we have an agent named Terry Siegel. She shops them out. Like I like I'll hear a band and I'll say, well, I want to get that band. That's how the Field Band came around. That's how Gunshine came around. We've got another band. Freddie Mercury from Queen was one of my favorite singers. I'm a singer in a rock and roll band, right? So I have some favorites myself. Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and we have them up on our walls too. Them people, Steven Tyler. You know, I said Robert Plant. Yeah. So I have my favorites, so I search out for stuff that sounds like that, and so we've got Queen Flash coming in April. That should be a great show. The guy sounds
He
just like
looks
Freddie
like Freddie
Mercury.
Mercury, huh?
He does. Yes, he does. Yeah. So I look for them. And then Charlie, he'll go ahead and and start. He looks around too, and then we have agents contacting us all the time. Like he is so busy with people responding to emails. Like everybody wants to play the club down in Detroit, out of Chicago. Hey, we'd really like to play there. We'd really like to play there. Well, if you don't have a following, it's hard for us to book that act unless you're a tribute act. So so many talented people around the area, but if you don't have a few hundred people following you or that are willing to come to the club, to watch you, then I can't run that show. I can't monetarily run that show. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for draws. We're looking for bands that will draw, the people. So we're always looking
Yes.
for suggestions, always, man. And they can contact Chuck Rossio at RossioMusic@gmail.com because I really don't deal with any of that stuff. I don't, people call me up and I just direct them right over there because, again, I have three other businesses that I run. So I'm a very busy guy all the time. And
Believe it.
yeah, so yep, I don't need any of that. I don't want to negotiate. I'm the end result of anything that comes through my club. Charlie's
Right.
the front door. You got to go through Charlie to get to me. So,
Good, good.
and that's
So
perfect
now,
for us. It's perfect.
yeah, fans know to contact Charlie if they want to be considered to play at the
Well, they
Vault.
know now through you
Yeah,
and through if they
yeah.
call me, yeah,
You're
I
gonna be
direct everybody
referred.
to, yeah, they got to
Cool.
be referred and I refer them. And then if he doesn't think, like I just had a band, Badfinger, a guy called me the other day during that storm that we just had the other day. And he was talking and he was playing his guitar and telling me about, he'd like to route my club. And it's like, well, I checked him out and nobody's left. There's no, they had like 7 hits, Badfinger. And, but I just referred him over to Chuck. I said, look, man, I don't do this stuff. This is not my area. I'm the end result. And that's what I like to be. I like to be the contract. I'll read the contract, I sign the contract, and I write the check. That's what I do in this. That's my job, in the business.
You have
So
to
I like it.
delegate a lot.
You have to, and that's with my whole staff too. Like I have a bar manager, she takes care of the bar. I've got a rider manager, she takes care of the bands. I've got a promotions guy and I've got an IT guy, for everything. So it's a big staff, and everybody needs always to work together. So again, like I said, I can't do this without my staff. There's just no way. I would close it down tomorrow if I didn't have my staff.
You
Because
have good
why?
staff.
Yeah, they're great, man. They smile all the time. They're having a good time, and that's, again, we're having a good time. And if we're having a good time, we want everybody, I just want everybody to have a good time. And
It
they
is a
do.
great
They keep
venue. Yeah.
well, they keep on coming back. My staff keeps on coming back, every weekend.
Yeah.
They take their vacation, they take some time off, but it all is everybody works together, and I couldn't say it enough, man. I love them guys. We're a family there. We're the Volt family, so, and we take lots of pictures. So yeah, and you can see it on Facebook, on
Uh,
our website. Them are our people, man. And
awesome.
yeah. So
It's a
we want to
family.
give the best.
It's like you have a bond with your coworkers after a while, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. And they come and go though. I mean, some, they come and go sometimes, but this is just a changing business. We're trying to make everything better all the time,
Yeah.
so, and I'm a changing guy. Like if I see something I want to try, because it's when you walk in that door, you've seen it. You walk in the door, you just go, wow.
Yeah.
Nobody knows it. You can look at the building from the outside and go, oh, this is a bingo hall, man. Until
Yeah.
you walk through them two doors. Once you walk through them two doors, pretty much everybody does. Everybody goes, holy crap, man. They start looking around like this,
Yeah.
and
And
then I
you
have that
got
upstairs
space
too.
for days. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
the upstairs it's rarely full, which means you have more capacity than you've got room to grow, huh?
Oh yeah. We can really pack them in there. I like to base everything on 800 people. So
Yeah.
800 people, I feel very comfortable with being able to handle. Once you get more than that, it starts getting a little crowded. You know what I mean? And we really have never had more than, I think Chuck's band was the biggest, the Tension Head band. And then we had Tennessee Whiskey, the Prince show. Then were the big shows. and we handled them. We got through them. It was great. We have lots of parking, and then we have road space, for parking too, because my parking lot will hold a couple, probably 150, 200 cars. But
Mhm.
after that, you're parking on the streets,
Yeah.
which is okay. It's a safe, it's not a bad area because steering gear is no longer there. So across from where my building's at, it's all empty field. It's all a park now. They turned it into a recreational park. So pretty much there's nobody around, and I own the whole
Wow.
block. So it's pretty cool that I created
Wow.
our own neighborhood.
Wow. I didn't realize you owned the whole block. So the others are your
Yeah.
businesses right next door. Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. We had to do that. Yeah.
yeah, that's great, man. You're living the dream. I think a lot of people would really wish they had such a great venue for music. You've brought this to Saginaw. It's going to be a prosperous business. I love it. I'm going to be a loyal fan until the doors close. It's a great place. It brings back a lot of memories from my youth when I go to similar clubs and be so close to the artist. Like one time I
Yeah.
saw Dio, Ronnie James Dio, and I was so
Oh, yeah.
close that I could just put my arm out and touch him. And a lot of people were. They were like, this is my only chance I could touch Ronnie James. And they would just touch him and he'd just keep singing, being touched like it was,
Yeah.
it's weird to be so close. And there's something about live music that I'm just always going to be a forever fan. And so let's make an invitation to the music fans of Saginaw. What would you like to say to invite them to the club?
Well, just check us out. Just look at Facebook. We have our Facebook page. It's the Vault, Saginaw. Uh, Take a look at that. The shows are all labeled there. They're all listed, and then we put them up all the time, and they can pick up tickets at the Junction, Grand Central, Maple Gardens, and at Rockstar Opals out there in Thomas Township. And you got to go there. You just got to go there and check it out because you can't say enough, until people experience it. I can tell you that it's the greatest thing since peanut butter and jelly, but until you walk through them two double doors, you'll never get it. And again, we want to try other stuff. We had some wrestling matches there. I want to try some MMA stuff. I want to do some. We're doing comedy, of course, like I just mentioned, and I want to do that a lot more. I think comedy. Everybody needs to laugh. My whole thing about this club is I want people to smile. No
Yeah.
matter what. Even if my staff dresses up in kilts, which they did St. Patty's Day, all my
Uh-huh.
staff, my security guys, they were all wearing kilts and stuff. It's like, dude,
Cool.
even on '80s shows, like Motley Crue, everybody likes to dress up. So, and then when they walk through the door, it's like I don't care if somebody is dressed up in a dragon suit. If it makes a laugh on somebody's face,
Yeah.
I love it. And
Hey,
even by the end of the night, if everybody's still smiling, we greet people out the door too. Thanks for coming, everybody, man. I hope you return. Tell your friends, man. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring our community together. And you're right, music is the elixir of life.
yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm 61 years old. I can't believe I'm this old. I don't feel this old, but I feel great. I feel healthy. You will see me there pretty much on every show. When you go there, and I'm the big guy smiling. Because I want that infection to go to everybody. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's what we're
That's
there for.
awesome.
We're here for you. We're here for everybody. So just check us out, man. And I like people to respond. Give us a shout out. Give us something. Tell us what you'd like to see. You know, um,
Yeah.
because that's what we want to do. That we do anywhere from. We don't do a lot of hip hop because I just but anything else, I'm okay with. People
Right. Right.
people just need to let me know what they want to see. Because that's
Yeah.
it's all about our community here.
Hey, I totally think the comedy is a great move, and I'm going to be one of the first to go see a comedy show there. I love to
Nice.
laugh, and that's great that you're giving the comedians a break as well to perform there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hey, this has been an awesome conversation. You gave us a real behind the scenes look at what it takes to run a successful music venue. You've showed us what about the sound and how bands can find you. And I'm looking forward to seeing the new shows this summer. So yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for and also be sure and tell musicians that are local, come on the show and we'll interview them and spread the
yeah,
word and get them new followers. So hey, thank you
yeah.
so much. Uh, if you enjoyed this podcast, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. You can find us on Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. Just search for Saginaw Spotlight. If you are interested in advertising uh, for the show or sponsoring an episode, that is great. I'd love to talk to you about that. And if you want to be a guest on the show, that's great too. Please message me, Alex, at 989-954-7210. Until next time, Saginaw, keep shining.